Okay, this recipe is tried and true. It's just taco beef, and I serve it with tortilla chips. And I also put out some soft tortillas, salsa, sour cream, cheese. So basically, it's 2 pounds of ground beef, 2 cans of kidney beans drained, 1 can of home canned corn. I like this taco seasoning from Costco, but I was running a little bit short on it. Not enough to season this night's dinner. So I actually had to mix up a little bit, with paprika and cumin and salt and a little bit of oregano, pepper. Um, I think I just Googled a recipe, threw that in there with some water, and it's super easy to make. Everybody in the family loves it. There's never any leftovers. And, it's filling, it's nutritious. So I basically serve this once a week most of the time because it's just that much of a favorite. So here it is, all laid out with the tortillas and the chips. And we just pretty much let the kids make their own however they like it. There's the hot sauce. This hot sauce is so good. It's from Trader Joe's. It is absolutely delicious. So that is taco night. Okay, we are having pasta tonight. And this is another meal that I serve quite often. My husband's over here talking to me in the background. He doesn't realize that I'm recording. Um, so I'm just browning the sausage here. I like to use the Italian sausage with marinara sauce. So Ryan just loves to sit and talk to me while I'm cooking. He still hasn't realized. There he did. He just realized it right there. He is moving out of the camera now. I'm filling up the pot of water now to boil the pasta in. I love having that pot filler. It makes it so much easier. I'm just going to be cooking 1 pound of pasta tonight. Normally it would be two, but two of my teenage sons are out of state right now, which means we eat a lot less pasta because those two boys can put it away. So I'm only going to be doing 1 pound of pasta tonight. look, I'm doing a tiny task. So I saw a spot on the bottom of my cabinet, and I got some all-purpose spray and a wet paper towel, and I'm cleaning it up right now while I'm cooking. This is something that I do a lot of. I will try to multitask as I cook, and this is how I keep things clean. You know, just do a little bit here and a little bit there and use the time that I can. Okay, I'm taking the sourdough bread out of the Dutch oven here. I had baked that earlier, letting it cool on the rack now. The bread didn't rise all that great because I didn't have, the dough had been in the refrigerator for a few days, but it still tastes good, so I baked it. Stirring the sauce now. I put that on the French simmer plate and salting the water before I get started. This is pasta shells from Trader Joe's, or I'm sorry, not Trader Joe's. This is from Aldi, actually. The shell shape is the one that we like the most. I was buying rigatoni from there for a long time, but lately I don't like the way it cooks up. There's my flour. I'm going to be feeding the starter here. I'm doubling up on my tasks again. So the sauce that I'm using tonight is a home canned sauce. It's an arrabbiata, which means it's spicy. And it's tomatoes that I got from the Amish auction. I must have skipped over showing you that, but that's the type of sauce that's in there right now. I'm gonna grate some cheese now, I think. Stir that pasta first. Yeah, this is my Parmesan Reggiano cheese that I get from either Costco or Sam's. Basically, every time I go there, I buy a wedge because we go through a lot of it. So now I'm gonna grate the cheese. Nope, looks like everybody's coming inside. Ryan's gonna take over grating the cheese for me. He's asking me how far down I want him to grate it to. Okay, I've drained the pasta and pouring it back into the pot now. And then I'll just add the sauce back into this pot. Stir it all up. And then I'll just serve it out of this pot over on our little peninsula. That's my dishwasher there. She does the dinner dishes, so I'm not going to make an extra dish for her by putting it in a big serving dish. We'll just serve it right out of the pot. Somebody said something funny. There's the bread that's sliced up. Ryan sliced that for me. And the cheese, the grated cheese. My trash can is right there. I'm not just throwing things off the side, I promise. I'm going to chop up these vegetables, so celery, onions, and let's see, celery and onions go in the pot first. So that's what I'm doing now. Okay, my daughters were kind enough to peel all of the potatoes for me, which saved me a lot of time. So now I'm just going to chop those up into bite-sized pieces. Okay, let's start sauteing these vegetables. So the onions and the celery go in the pot with some salt and pepper and olive oil. And I'm gonna just saute those until they start to brown up a little bit. Now I'm going to go ahead and add the water in. And that's what it looks like once all the water's in. Now I'm going to dice my ham. I got this little ham at Aldi. I'm not going to use the whole thing for the soup. I'll save some of that for just to add into scrambled eggs and things like that. Ham always attracts a crowd. So I'm going to hand out slices to the kids that come by and smile at me sweetly. Okay, now I'm going to add in the better than bouillon for the broth. I never measure this. I just eyeball it. Okay, so now I'm going to be making the roux to go into the soup to thicken it up, because this is a creamy soup. It's like a cream of potato, but then it also has the vegetables and it has the ham, and then it's also going to have some frozen mixed vegetables that I add closer to the end. So I'm melting the butter, and then I'll add the flour and then pour the milk in, and then it'll thicken up, and I'll add that into the soup. Okay, so I'm adding the milk now. Just whisking it until it's smooth, and then I'll keep adding the milk until all of it's added, and then once it comes to a boil, it's pretty much done. It's nice and thick. I'm going to go ahead and add those frozen mixed veggies in. That's what it all looks like. Now I'm going to go ahead and add in salt. So if you make a lot of homemade soup, but you never really like the way it turns out, chances are you're not adding enough salt. Now I'm going to put some pepper in. Here's my spatula. You see how it's all chewed on. The kids are always chewing on my spatulas. I don't have any spatulas that are not chewed on. Okay, it's time to add that into the soup to make it nice and creamy. So now I'm just stirring it up, and it's pretty much done at this point. And there it is. There's the soup. And I serve that with the rolls that you see over to the right. It's absolutely delicious. The kids love it. Okay, today we're going to be making roast beef sandwiches. So this is a chuck roast. This is a super simple recipe. Basically, it's 1 jar of banana peppers, sliced banana peppers. Just pour the whole thing in, juice and everything. And then it is 1 seasoning packet of Italian dressing. Italian dressing seasoning packet. Just dump the whole thing over there, and then basically you just let it cook on low all day long. So now I'm going to take the beef out, and I'm going to get all of the fatty pieces off of it and shred it for sandwiches. Okay, now I'm pouring the juice back over it, minus the fat. This is one of those fat separators, so the fat goes to the top and you can pour it out without all of the fat included. So I got some clearance buns over at Walmart, and so we'll just cut those, and then we'll just put some of the beef on. There's a Caesar salad kit and some chips, and it's a delicious dinner.